Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Oriel Morrison-Higgins and I'm joined today by Dr. Mark Cooksey, Managing Director and CEO of ABx Group. Mark, welcome. Great to have you with us today.
Likewise, Oriel. Great to be with you again.
Now, Mark, you've got some exciting news. You've just been granted a new exploration licence in northern Tasmania. Tell us a little bit about this. What does it mean for the company? How much ground do you control now up there?
Yeah, so we've already got a rare earth resource in Tasmania, what we call our deep leads and rubble mound projects. We've also got some other tenements about 50 kilometres to the east, and what we've just announced today is a new exploration tenement about 30 kilometres to the north of our deep leads resource. So it's another 165 square kilometres, which takes our total portfolio up to over 800 square kilometres, all in northern Tasmania.
Congratulations, that certainly is a significant size. Now, in terms of the drilling, I know that the Tasmanian Government has backed your drilling program recently. It must be give some additional credibility, I suppose, to get that kind of government support.
Yeah, so the Tasmania, mining is very important to Tasmania, and the Tasmanian Government recognises that. For a few years, they've had what's called the Exploration Drilling Grant Initiative, or EDGI, and that means that they will award up to $100,000 for a drilling program, which the company has to match. So we think it's a good co-investment model and it has to be for greenfield exploration, not just more drilling at something you've already got. And so yeah, the Minister for Resources in Tasmania just announced last week that ABx is one of 5 recipients of up to $540,000 total. We haven't got the details yet of exactly what ours is, but yeah, it's a great vote of confidence in what we're doing.
So what do you expect to find with this new licence in Tasmania? What do you think when you drill? What do you think the results will show?
Well, the whole thing about these rare earths and about our resources, it's an ionic clay, which is actually, it gets bandied about a bit, but it's very unusual. It's in a very low-cost metallurgy if you can find it. And because we have found it at our deep leads resource, and we've developed a fair bit of understanding about what factors lead to it, we're then able to choose new areas to explore with a bit of science to say, we think these areas are very prospective. And so we certainly expect to find rare earths in the new tenements and a good chance of finding more ionic rare earths, which is the real prize.
And why are those ionic rare earths so important in simple terms for investors?
It's basically that the rare earths are easy to extract from the clay. In most rare earth deposits, you need a lot of temperature or acid to break apart the mineral containing the rare earths. In an ionic clay, the rare earths are just attached to the clay, and it's very simple to separate them. That's why they're attractive.
So, Mark, I'm particularly interested in technology and how technology can be used now in exploration and mining. You are actually using artificial intelligence to find new targets. Now, what does this mean in practice? How does it actually work, and is it in fact working?
Yeah, so one of the challenges with exploration and developing a mining project is the amount of data you get. So you get your own data from your drilling programs, your assays, and your metallurgical testing. There's also a whole lot of publicly available data that geological surveys do, for example, aeromagnetic mapping and things like that. There's so much data, it's hard for a human, even really clever geologists and engineers, to synthesize it all. And so what you're using the AI for is to combine all that data really effectively so that we can much more quickly analyze the data we've got to then make better decisions about the next stages of the exploration program. So it's really exciting. I mean, AI has sort of been tried in all sorts of applications, and this is how we're using it for ourselves.
And you're finding it helpful?
Yeah, certainly. Basically, if you set it up right, which doesn't take too long with the AI, with then the press of a button, if someone says, oh, what about looking for such and such, this combination of parameters, and the person can press a button and show it. And you go, oh, okay, well, that's what that data looks like. Oh, what about this? Normally, when you do that, having to analyze data more manually, each time someone says that, it takes another couple of hours to reformat the data so you can look at it. So this is just much faster.
So tell me, Mark, from an investment perspective, what should investors expect to hear? You did say earlier that you are expecting some announcements to come through now in the next couple of months. So what are investors watching for?
Yeah, well, ABX, we've got three project areas. We've got the rare earths we're talking about here. We've also got our fluorine chemicals project, also in Tasmania, and we've still got our bauxite projects as well. So they're advancing on all fronts. So on the rare earths, more exploration, engineering studies. On our Alcor, that's the company name of our fluorine project, we're building our pilot plant. And on all three projects, we're continuing to look for strategic partners to advance the project. So we're really working hard to pull one or more of those off, and obviously we'd announce it if we did.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to chatting to you. It sounds like we're going to be talking again very soon, Mark. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ariel.